What follows for this tutorial right now is how to structure a Django project. On my screen right here, I'm actually having my IDE. It's called Fleet. Is from JetBrains. You can use VS Code, you can use PyCharm or whatever IDE that corresponds to you. But for me, I'll be using this one. That being said, that being said, let's quickly start by creating our virtual environment. We all remember the virtual environment is always a way to isolate your resources and just have your projects locally in a more organized way. Um, so what I will do is I'll run the Python dash mvnv and name my virtual environment. And this will just quickly create up my virtual environment. If I open my files by the side, we notice that there is a folder here that has started being creating. Yeah, it's currently going on. Half-hour.env. After creating our virtual environment, we can quickly activate the virtual environment. So since I'm using Git Bash terminal, I can just run the script with source. But in case you're using something like PowerShell, you might likely go in just for something similar to this and just navigate to the activate. So my virtual environment is active. You can easily see that from this area. Yes. Uh, I can pip install my Django right now. Normally, depending on how fast your internet connectivity is, installation of Django can vary. But for me, it might take way shorter time just because I've previously been working on projects with it today. So it's still found in my cache. After we have our packages installed, we can proceed now to the next section, which is starting our Django project. So here I can quickly have the Django admin command, Django admin start project, and my project name. My project name, I will call it blogger, and I'll put this dot. So I've already have a folder blogger here. I will just use as reference point the folder blogger, reason for having the dot there. I can just quickly launch the command. To add me a couple of files at the root level, which will be useful for the continuation of this tutorial. Okay, I think I'm having a typo here. Okay, that check. Where is the A coming from? I guess that should surely be a very big mistake. So at this point in time now, we're actually having our blogger app that has been created. As you can see, if we were using just the blogger without the dot, then we might likely have something else at this particular level. We'll likely have the blogger folder or directory. Inside the blogger directory, we'll have another blogger directory, and we'll have the manage.py inside that blogger and a couple of other files. So right now we have everything set up. I think we can now proceed to our app. Let me just call my app block. So here I'll be using the python manage.py command, start app, and I'll call it block. So yeah, I don't really need a dot because it will just be at the same level like this one. So don't need to have anything anything extra right now. So we added our blog directory, and in the blog directory we have a couple of basic files that it usually comes with. But for now, we will first add a new file that we'll be calling urls.py. urls.py will serve us to keep all the URLs for this particular app, and we'll link this up to the blogger URLs. We'll see that in a couple of minutes. But just to be sure that everything is currently working well, let's just simply run the python manage.py command, and let's run as by default. Every Django app that has been started is using the SQLite as database, or as if for database, as you can have a look at it here. So it will also create my in my SQL database here in a couple of minutes at the root level too as well. Great, our app has started, so we can just quickly open it up on our browser and be sure that everything, or the installation, or like the basic installation, worked properly. So it's good to check up the state of your project at every point of the development. So here we have our installation has worked. So congratulations. Congratulations to all of us. We did it together. Okay, let's get now to a little bit of more serious things, if I can call it that way. I'll need another terminal for now. On our new terminal now, we'll add another extra package to help us save a couple of environment variables. It's like things like the secret key. The way every Django projects actually work, the secret key is key mostly used for encryption. So when you see a password hash and a couple of other secret files that might be generated in your project, like hash data, is actually being hashed depending on this key. So if someone has access to this key, it might likely not be a very good thing for you, given that the person can easily go in for a decryption or just hack into it. Um, I will pip install a very nice package. The package name is called python.env. Python.env is a package to handle most of our environment variables. So it just, if I can call it, it activates the environment variables that are found in the .env file. Why it's actually installing, I will have my .env. Not only the .env, I will also need a .env.example. So the .env usually is a local environment, but the .env.example is what you're pushing to production. and it will just contain a couple of secret like samples, if I can say it that way. Yeah, I will not need this one for now. Just trying to clean it up so we won't be that much confused. Uh, from .env import load .env. So the load.env command is what we carry along all our virtual environment or our .env file and help us have access to it. Yes. I will also need the OS library, import OS. After import OS, I'll just copy out that one. So I think this is the best way that I actually found to be handling most of our environment variables. os.get env, and I have the name of the env here, secret key. You might actually found people doing it in a different way. I know some people sometimes they might use something like the Django environ, but I for this case I'll just be using this one in particular. I'm having my secret key. Let me show you how the env.example works. The env.example, I'll just put in something that might just look like some form of secret here, like this should look and be kept secret. That's my first environment variable that I'm keeping there. For now, I don't actually found anything much to do. Now, what about if we also set the debug to the environment variable? So let's say the debug can be true if the os.getEnv debug, the .env.debug, let's do a quick comparison. With it. Let me just let me cast it out here. I'm just trying to get it as lowercase, just in case someone might actually enter a value there that might not be in the right casing. So yeah, if it's true, right? Uh, else it will just be false. Yes. False. This one is the oh, okay. I think this is it. So now I will actually proceed and put my debug in my .env. Here my debug is set to true, and my .env.example. For this one, I don't really need to keep debug safe. I can stay safe, but yes, yeah, this one shows to be for it, true or false, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it's just a value that any developer that might be working on the project alongside with you will literally be using to. We have debug. Let's follow up by adding our app to here. Our app is called blog. Let's proceed. SQLite. SQLite 3. If you're using Postgres, then you should just go in for Postgres. So we have now SQLite 3 database that has been created here. SQLite 3 is an SQL database, but more of like a no server database. So now we will be exploring one file after another and have a real explanation of what each file does. Let's start with the blogger. The blogger came in first. Don't mind their position at this level. File cache is just cache. We know what the init does. It makes the normal, or it makes identified. The init basically makes a folder be identified as a package or a module. We have the ASDI, the asynchronous gateway interface, and it's actually to handle asynchronous requests. We have the WSGI to handle synchronous requests. We have the URLs, carries all the URLs of the app. By default, if you have not edited this file, then the root path should actually point you to this particular one, as we actually saw. You can also um, just hit it up here and add something like the admin. Yes, but since we are not we have not actually had an admin yet, or we have not created a super user, then this one is not really what we'll be looking into at the moment. Maybe later on, but not now. The settings. So this is where all the configuration happens. If you want to put in tags, if you want to add more apps, if you want to do any fancy thing, like most of the times, it's found here. Sometimes the settings might grow too big, and maybe you might have a different environment, staging, dev, and other things that these settings, instead of having a file here, some people might actually go in for a module, just to adapt to how cumbersome the code base has become. Closing the blogger app, let's go to the blog. We have the admin is basically customizing how this particular application will be represented at the level of the admin section, and to also define whatever model you want to be visualizing on the admin section. We have the applications. The application also as well, like this particular name is what we have used here. Uh, yeah, yeah, just here at this level. In previous Django version, we used to call most of the times log.app, like we will call this thing, this folder, then we go to apps, then we call now this configuration like log config. But Django just helped us, and we are now just calling just the thing as simply as this one is showing you. We also have the application. Oh, I was on the application. So we have the models now. This is where you're writing your SQL database tables using Python code, or using the Python language. Testing. A lot of people don't write tests, but this is a very useful folder. And also, depending on how big the project is, this can actually turn into a module with each file in the module performing a particular test or related to a particular test. We have the URLs. This one I just added it by the beginning of this tutorial. It's literally just to show you that like all the URLs related to this particular application will be called here, and the URLs in the long run will be referenced in this particular URLs, the blogger URLs. We have the view. So knowing that Django has an MVT structure, most of the times we be going in with the logic at this level, like this is our controller. In other words, um, I will now proceed to create my templates directory. Yes, my template directory has been created. I will need now to reference the template directory in my settings file. So in this particular array, this is where you put all your templates. By default, Django is supposed to identify these templates. Like all the templates are found at root level and also at the block apps. But just for assurance purpose, and to prevent maybe further breaking changes, let's just put everything here. I'm having my templates. And here we are. Let me put a little bit of space here. It's looking pretty. In the templates, I can easily have something like an index, index.html. I guess we all know the index of HTML, we might have come along or come across it a couple of times while we're starting. If you are on this tutorial, then I guess you have eventually gone through a little bit of HTML. You can edit this time zone as well, depending on what you need. I for once I can edit this to Africa Douala, where I'm currently from, but I'll just leave it there to UTC, which is the default time zone for most of the web packages or the web framework. Sorry, I think we are good to go and start writing our controllers right now. So now we start first by establishing our model. All we do here is that we do a simple block app. You know, Django is it has two ways of writing views. I'm talking about raw Django, like just normal Django. We have two ways of writing our views. We have the declarative way, and we also have the object oriented, which is class. Declarative, we all know, is using functions. Inside my models, I will just define my blocks, just the post, like just simply it, like nothing complex. I don't want to be tracking the user at this level, like nothing. Just want to illustrate how exactly you can have your Django project best structured. Uh, Model, our blog should, our blog should have a title, I guess. Chart field. So Chatfield is what we all know as Bacha. I guess we all know that one. When we're using MySQL, so we have our max length. Let's just put it to 20. We have the content. So now the content is we actually a text field. Yeah, and we have the timestamp. Like the timestamp I think is also something that is very important at my own level. So we have the models that date time fill. Let me just put the date time fill. So this one will mostly help us sort the blog post and define that okay, this one was created at this particular time and so on and so forth. Yeah. We'll also have our string. Okay, self, we have the return. We'll actually be returning the title. This is how we apply at the level of the admin tool as well. Or if we are using the console, that's also how you appear. Let's go into the meta. Now the meta class is just the metadata of our model. Yes. Let's define the DB table name. And this one it will be called post. Yes. Here we can also have the verbose plural. This verbose plural name. Let me leave it for now. I'll check it in a couple of minutes and just add it there. Okay. That was all about our models. After having that our models, I can quickly run the migrations. Python manage.py make migrations. So I know we haven't checked everything, but when it comes to the migrations, when you're running on the Python manage.py make migrations, we add us a file at this particular level, and that file is as a whole is writing or is just giving us a more silver, or like it checks out our models and just give us a ready to go Python code for our model. And after this level is as easy as it is, it just goes straight to the database. So you can see we created a file here, initial 1001. This is the content of it. So it's initial. That means it actually has no dependency. So yeah, it doesn't depend on any table. The table name is called post. You could have different other options here, but this is the name of the class, and these are the fields that it's supposed to actually contain. And I think here you will actually see it's really more detailed, and this ID is actually coming through from the settings file of Django. That's why we're having the big auto field. ASI settings, this is where it's found. Just yeah, yeah, and that is what will be giving us our ID field. You can see, if you can remember, I mean, you will notice that I haven't really had an ID field there, so we can proceed. Now I can quickly move along now and migrate everything. Now on the migrate command at its own turn, it will take a long, like a much more amount of table. It will first take the 18 applied migrations that the Django project on its own comes with and works along. If you check at this level, you will see the SQL database table. SQLite database is currently creating and deleting a couple of files. So that's just how it works. We'll go in depth about it maybe later. This is not really the focus of this video. So we have a couple of things here, but our main interest is this. This is our table here, the blocks 001 initial. I can quickly close up these files, and I will also register it at the admin section. Admin dot site dot register register post without s from dot models import post. I don't know what's happening. Why I'm just repeating, having so many typos. From dot models import post. And that's the right spelling for everything. Python manage.py, Python manage.py create Superuser. Now let's explore the Django admin interface. So he actually selected my username on my local computer. Yokoji's. Okay, I have no email address for now. Password, very short password. Password verification bypass. Yes, I want to bypass your password verification. What handles the password verification? For everything, I will just be giving you guys a proper backup for most of these things. Uh, this is it. Most of the verification happened at the level of this middleware, and we also have these password validators. So we have minimum length, common password validation. If you have maybe something like password 123, yes, it will be prompted. So right now, we also have the numeric password validator. Have any password verification of your own here. You can just secure your validation depending on whatever you want to validate on the password. You might actually create something or a validator that says that no password on the platform should also contain the username. I think you have seen something similar to that, maybe working on a couple of other platforms. So Let me go and access my admin section now. Okay, this is the admin section. This is the admin section. I can quickly log in using this, and I click on login. So as you can see, for those that maybe has been a while using Django, Django also has the Django admin. I mean, it also has this dark white mode toggle. Yes, I love dark mode, but just just for the sake of clarity, I'll just choose that one. So this is how the blocks post work. Okay, I'm having this nice looking interface where I can quickly add a blog post. Okay, I put my blog post title, Hello One. Now, there's also something that we easily look for later, but for now, let's just leave it. I will explain about it more. So, let me say this is supposed to look like a blog post content with fun stuff and images and nice looking gifs. Mhm, mhm, exclamation mark. Better. It shows the joy that we are currently having. Okay. Uh, After adding our blog post now, we just go to our views and just see how we can do something at our view level. Remember, our view represents our controller here. Let me import my model from dot models import post. Okay, delete these. Uh, define define block list. I pass in the request. Let me put the block. Block is equals to post, and then I use now the object. Is the like the model like the manager dot objects dot on. What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Okay, let me open this post. This is surely being like the linting of this particular ID in are my context here. Now the context is basically a way for the for I don't really want to say the front end, but it's a way for the Ginger template to actually interact with the controller. So this is the T part of it. Like I mean the templating part. Let's just see how it goes. We have our return render. Oh god, return render. Now the render first argument it takes the request. After it takes the template name, and our template name right now will be index.html. The index.html we created down there. We'll just be using that one for a lot of things right now. Um, let's just continue, and at last we have the context. Yeah. Let me save this one, and I go and reference it now in my URLs. Now, we all know there's this meme that usually says that developers is just about copy and paste. It's not really the case, but sometimes you just have to copy and do a paste. Yes. Say what you want to say. That concerns only you. Um, I'm having my empty quotes here. Uh, use dot block list. Let me give you the name. Uh, list block. Let me import my views. From that, import. Begin a type. Import views. Okay. I'm having this one reference here. Let me go now and reference this particular URLs file inside this one, unless it will not really be considered. Beside the path, I can get the include. Mm, mm, okay, I need to put the path. So path, empty this thing, my include, and I put my app name, which is block. Yes, I think so far that is it. Uh, yes, yes. Now, I've literally edited the root level. It's supposed to reload this thing. I don't know why they say if you see URLs pattern. Okay, blocks.urls. Need to reference with the URLs file. I think that's why I screwed up. So I'm taking blocks, this block dot URLs, these URLs here, and I'm referencing it just here. It's easy, right? Let's go and check the output. Mm, Let me reload this. Oh, we actually have no input simply because haven't entered anything inside our index.html file. Let me just split out. Yes, you can see here it's just empty. So remember I told you we actually use a context, right? I'll put a for loop here for block in blocks in blocks. Let me end the for loop just here. And for and proceed here. What this? Let me start a list. Yes. And carry all of these. Carry all of these. Oh, really? Just drop. Okay. Um. All right. I'm having my list here, and I'll just put a block. Block dot. I need to pass it as a ginger template variable. This is the way we actually pass it. Block dot title. Uh, and the block content. Block dot content. Content. Yes. Unlike the Python file, except you have a package that reloads the HTML file, you might likely have to restart the terminal when you do changes inside the HTML files. Yes, it was fast. It's not something that actually takes a lot of time. As a whole normally is supposed to appear here. Did I use the wrong context? Oh, I put block. It's supposed to be blocks here and even here. Oh, it's not actually like it's supposed to be a naming convention, but it's more of like for the sake of clarity, yes, and whatever we're actually doing. Better to have it in that way. Welcome, and you just debug for your first time a Django project. You have had a lot of errors, right? And from my own perspective, that's the best way we do while we are learning something. Let's have now our blog details. Let's have something like blog details here. Okay, blog details. I pass in my request. Never forget the request. I'm having the blog ID too. Uh, Blogs. Let me put blog, yes. Uh, Posts dot object dot get. It's not use dot filter. You can use dot filter when you know that okay. The value that you're trying to get is not really a unique value. Then for that one, you can easily go in for a block filter. So I'm having my block ID. Let me just use my context too as well. I just love using my context. I mean, in this particular way, I don't like having it at the template, in the template at the end. In this way, it makes things look much more better and much more clearer and friendly to also use. Return render request request the template name. Let me call it details.html. Let me copy the name too. The name will really be useful later on. So let me not mess it up. Uh, yes, and as well, I'm passing to my context. So at this particular level, let me create my new file. I'll call the file details.html. Instead of details.html, I will just pass in my block. Uh, Let me just use an h1 tag here. Like it's supposed to be something that is actually looking cool, but with a couple of CSS, maybe some Alpine GS, you might have something really looking pretty at this particular position. So we have the blog, the title here. Uh, we also have, um, let me put a paragraph here. I think a paragraph will do it. Blog, blog dot content. Content. Oh, okay. Now, this is where the technical aspect works again. Or this is where we have some form of technicality that we need to really sort out. Uh, Path. At the level of this path, knowing that from this particular one, the ID that the blog post is using is a big autofill, which is normally an integer. So we also use some little type safety here. Uh, let's use it. Let's make it an int. Uh, Block ID. I was supposed to put this inside double or single quotes, like just quotes, whatever the one that I'm using, but it's supposed to be inside quotes. Very important. Um, oh, okay. Let me go inside the views, directly copy the name of this particular function. Uh, yes, name, block those. Okay, I need to pass in my views here. Yeah, now it's much more better. I mean, it's really looking pretty. I first failed my syntax, so normal that placing a comma here. How can I forget that? I mean, and see how the description of errors in Django is just so nice. Invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Oga, put your comma. So this is when I can put something like one, and it will give me normal in my blog post. Why is this saying not found? Oh, oh, internal server error. I think this is much more better. Sometimes I just prefer the internal server error now that post has no attribute object. I put object instead of having object. Okay, fast typing. That is what I'm actually falling into right now. That story. So before I actually put a slash at the end, we actually discussed on how to just maintain it so that you can be using it with slash or not slash, yes, and so on and so forth. I think right now it's supposed to be working perfectly. And this is it. Hello world. This is supposed to look like a post content. So I think that is it so far. We have explored a couple of things. In the next video, we'll actually be going in now with the post method, the update method, and also a way to have something looking better here. I guess when we are all going on blog posts, like even if you check some of my blog posts on dev.co, you will easily notice that the posts are not having the IDs of the posts, but they're actually having a slug. Yes, the term that we actually use to refer to this is slug. If you check maybe this serverless Django apps, uh, yes, you will see at this like the URL level, we are having instead this as a URL. Let me just copy and paste it here. I don't know, maybe you might not be seeing given that the screen is a bit reduced, but this is how it's looking like. Yes, so we'll also have something similar to that in no amount of time. So if you're new to this channel or this is the first time you're seeing your face, I'm Steve Yonke and I'll be dropping a lot of tutorial of this nature. Just give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and give me your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be right back.